if I obtain the D7 visa and start living in Portugal long term, will I still have to pay state income tax in California? That's a great question. So what we do with our clients is we always advise them to be conscious of this state domicile, because we've had so many clients, it's ridiculous, who they may have been outside of the US on assignment. So they may have had a short-term assignment just a couple of years, or maybe 10 or 15 years. And then at some point they return to the US, and, understand that the federal government speaks to states and vice versa. There's a relationship. So you may not have told the state that you went back, but on your tax return, suddenly it indicates that you're back on US soil. And the federal government tells the state. And then you get a big bill from the state saying, hey, welcome back. Here's a big bill for all that time you've been working out in France or in UK or whatever. So the important thing is to avoid that. The point, to answer your question directly, yes, it can happen. Even though you're physically not in California, even though you're physically not in New York, most states are domicile states. So even though you're physically not in the state living, you still are deemed to be tax domicile in that state. And therefore, under some certain circumstances, your worldwide incomes can still be subject to state tax, even though you do not live there. So what we advise clients is pick one of like the 7 states without an income tax. So, Nevada, Wyoming, Texas, Florida, Alaska, just pick one and re-domicile to that state. So how you do that is a function of facts and circumstances. You would want to get a driver's license, your whole mail address, voter registration. Basically, look at ways of going to that state and of basically proving that your domicile has shifted. I'd like to give the example of Elon Musk, right? So when he left California for Texas, he had like 30 properties or so, and he put every single one of them for sale. It was like scorched earth. All ties to the state of California burned. He put everything up for sale, and it was pretty clear that his center of life had moved to Texas. So anyway, so bottom line, sit with your advisor, get advice, and make sure that you domicile to another state before moving to Portugal, because you don't want any problems with California. And of all the franchise tax boards in the US, the ones that seem to give the most problems are California and Virginia for different reasons. But anyway, yeah, hope that helps, Payman.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.